Hello everyone and welcome back to Venue Diagram. I'm Clay and today's episode is going to be my picks for the winners at the 98th Academy Awards. The ceremony is going to be held this evening. Today is Sunday, March 15th, 2026, and I just figured I would put out a really quick video right now to talk about my picks for the winners so it would be on record before the show tonight. Then tomorrow or later on this week I'll put up a full video with my reactions to the winners and my discussion about how I went about seeing all of the Best Picture nominees and how much I enjoy doing that, kind of talking about the way that watching this show is a venue for me. So I have right here my picks in every category, and I'm just going to say right off the top here, I was really struggling with one aspect of this, which is that notion of, do I want to pick what I kind of expect will win, what's the biggest predicted thing, or do I want to go out on a limb? Do I want to pick what I actually want? Because I'm not an Oscar prognosticator. I'm not someone who does this all the time. What I do is watch all of the nominees I can. I try to watch every Best Picture nominee every year, and then I watch some of the others. I'm not that much of a movie person to watch all of them like I know a lot of the people who do videos like this do, but this is a little bit different. This is more about kind of my feelings about this. And so as I was doing this, I kept getting torn between whether or not I wanted to put down my feelings or put down my actual prediction. And what I kind of determined is that in most categories, what I put down was the prediction, even if I really felt like I'd rather have something else, or I even thought something else might win, because then I win either way. As is so often the case, even from the people who watch these all the time, the shorts are the hard part, and my pick for Best Documentary Short is All the Empty Rooms, which seems to be the kind of consensus because of the subject matter being so serious and so important. A lot of the other ones are also possibility. It's always a possibility the shorts go a different direction. And so, yeah, we'll see how that comes. Best Animated Short is Butterfly, which I did see, and it has just great animation. It's kind of watercolors and has an interesting story, and is also, again, the front runner. I think I picked the front runners in all of these shorts categories, which means that I am almost certain to get all three of them wrong. Every now and then I just guess at these, and I think that that's the years that I wind up with a pretty good overall ballot. So by going the wrong direction here, I feel like the prognosticators have steered us all wrong again, but we'll see. In Best Live Action Short, I did pick Two People Exchanging Saliva, which seems to have the most artistic style to it. A lot of people have said that's the movie they want to see the full movie of if they decide to do that. And the other nominee that is a real possibility here seems to be a friend of Dorothy. Miriam Margolyes is in that and did a really great job. Heading into the other categories quickly here. For Best Sound, I went ahead and picked... See, this is one of those ones where it's like everybody's saying this is going to win, but I would prefer the other one to win. And I have something down on the sheet here, and you know what? I'm going to go out on a limb. I'm going to go ahead and predict here the one that I want to win, which is Sinners, instead of the one that everybody thinks is going to win, which is F1. I doubt that it's going to happen, but we've hit it. We've hit it already. Basically, the first one of these that has any real bearing on anything, because those shorts I either get right or wrong every year, and it's like no rhyme or reason to it. This one, I had written down F1. I'm going with Sinners because I want Sinners to win. F1 was fine. It was a movie, but Sinners is great. One Battle After Another is also great. Sarat apparently has great sound. I didn't see that one, but yeah, I'm going to go out on a limb and say that Sinners, in a process of possibly picking up some extra Oscars that they weren't expecting beforehand, pulls this one out. Probably a bad pick, but hey, what can you say? On to Best Visual Effects, I'm going to go for Avatar, Fire and Ash. I've not seen any of the Avatar movies. That do not appeal to me at all. but I feel like they're just going to throw the Oscar at it because why not? Best production design, best makeup and hairstyling, and best costume design. I am going with Frankenstein in all three of those. That's Kate Hawley for costume design. This has some of the nominees' names on it, not others. And that is also Frankenstein for best production design. I don't love Frankenstein in basically any of those categories. I mean, everybody kind of talks about Jacob Elordi's makeup, and I didn't even like that very much. But we'll get on from that, and I'll talk about all of that when I produce my longer video later. Best original score is almost certainly going to be Ludwig Göransson for Sinners, and it should be. Then best original song, I am going with Golden from K-Pop Demon Hunters, which is a bop, but I would prefer Lie to Me from Sinners. I feel like I personally would probably give Sinners like 10 of these, but and that's with liking about half of the other movies. But in any case, K-Pop Demon Hunters, that song has kind of a cultural moment to it. It's going to happen, I think. Best editing, Andy Jurgensen from One Battle After Another is my pick for that on here, and I feel like that's legit, especially that scene at the end, the rolling hills. I would also have Sinners in the running here, but I feel like this one I would actually probably give to One Battle. Best cinematography, there's another one here where I'm kind of going a little bit against the grain. I think a lot of people are giving this one to Bauman for One Battle After Another. I had Bauman for One Battle After Another on the sheet, and I'm switching it right now to Autumn Durald Arkapow for Sinners, because I just think the cinematography in that is a step up, and I think the narrative is enough to possibly get her above the line here, and she is the technical person from Sinners who hasn't won one yet, because a lot of people in Ryan Coogler's team won Oscars for Black Panther. So I am going with Autumn, and I think I'm probably going to miss that one too, but you know, it is what it is. Best casting, Francine Maisler for Sinners. That's another Sinners. Yeah. Then we hit best adapted, not best adapted. Then we hit best animated feature, best documentary feature, and best international feature, which I'm going with K-Pop Demon Hunters for animated, The Perfect Neighbor for documentary, and Sentimental Value for best international. I feel as though those are kind of the more consensus picks. A lot of people moving towards The Secret Agent for international, and I'm just going to stick with Sentimental Value. Not going to be surprised if Secret Agent pulls it off. Then original screenplay is going to be Sinners, Ryan Coogler, and adapted screenplay is going to be One Battle After Another, Paul Thomas Anderson. I feel like it would be just a gigantic surprise if either of those goes the other way. Same way, Jessie Buckley for Hamnet is going to be Best Actress. But then you get the ones that people are less... Then you get the ones that people have more questions about, and certainly I do. For Best Supporting Actress, I'm going with Wunmi Mosaku. I feel as though she still has the best chance here. Could easily be Amy Madigan, could easily be Tiana Taylor. I'm going with Wunmi Mosaku, and we'll just see how it breaks down. And then, similarly, and this is the one I was talking about at the beginning, I am going with Sean Penn from One Battle After Another, which is a great performance. Just, I don't like Sean Penn's going to have 3 Oscars if he wins this, and Sean Penn, even back before his current era, was never my favorite. So the character is great, the performance is great. Just, I would 1000% rather see Delroy Lindo win. I just can't bring myself to pick it, but I will be jumping out of my seat if it happens. Then we have Best Actor, and oh, Timmy. So some people have gotten annoyed with Timmy for a while, basically since last year's SAG Awards win. I wanted Timmy to win last year very badly. I love that performance. I love Dylan. It's a big thing, right? But this year, I don't like Marty Supreme basically at all. The performance is fine, but the movie, a lot of people who do these love it. I did not like it. And that is a strike for me. And I feel like that is not going to be like the biggest narrative, but I think that there's some things about the movie that will possibly still drive a few voters away. And then just the whole narrative around Timothée Chalamet and the things that he's been saying and the things that he's been doing, whether or not they're misinterpreted or he doesn't mean it the way that he's saying it or it's part of the character promotion for the movie or whatever, I think it just adds up to not being Timothée Chalamet's time. So then Leo, who is amazing in One Battle After Another, has his one Oscar for not the movie he should have gotten it for, but still a movie. And this one I think would be a better one Oscar for Leo, but I feel like that's a little less too. So the direction here has been moving steadily in Michael B. Jordan's direction. Robert Aramayo won the BAFTA. Michael B. Jordan won the SAG. The SAG is not predictive. So I feel like all of us who are picking Michael B. Jordan might be going down the wrong stream. I'm going to do it anyway, mostly because I love those characters. I love that performance. I think that movie is amazing. And I think that I love the character, I love the performance, and I love the movie for Leo, but he already has one. Michael B. Jordan, Best Actor, why not? I think that's how most people who are picking him feel. It's like, we love him, why not give him the award? So let's do it. Let's give him the award. Best Director, I think even if it splits and Sinners wins Best Picture, Paul Thomas Anderson is winning Best Director, and that's kind of where I'd been leaning for a while. Paul Thomas Anderson's winning Best Director. That's my pick here. I feel like there's not really any narrative to push the other direction for Coogler here. As with most categories, it's between those two movies. I wish that it was Coogler. Not because I dislike Paul Thomas Anderson. I have loved Paul Thomas Anderson since Boogie Nights. But I feel like the achievement that Coogler has on the screen there and something about just the narrative of the movie is enough for me. But I think the narrative of the career is what's really going to win it for Paul Thomas Anderson. And the movie is also very good. I have this argument inside myself, right? Because the way that you always feel about these things is you have your real favorite that you really want to win. And I know a lot of my friends in the industry who love movies have been going down this direction. It's like, no, I want Sinners to win all of it. No, I want One Battle After Another to win all of it. I do hope that they kind of split them up and get a few to one and a few to the other, because I love both of them, and I think they're both great. I think that Paul Thomas Anderson is a really great auteur, and Ryan Coogler is an amazing auteur who has a vision that I would love to see more and more and more of. And then Best Picture, I am picking One Battle After Another. I mean, it won PGA, DGA, all the precursors. It's won everything. It doesn't make sense to pick anything else, even if Sinners has a narrative, even if Sinners wins a whole bunch of the other categories. I just can't see it. I'll be super happy if it does win, but there it is. One Battle After Another, Best Picture winner from your non-informed, non-industry prognosticator who doesn't do these generally, but I figured, why not? It's fun. It's exciting. We can all have fun here. We can all agree and disagree and talk about it. In any case, none of them are bad. A couple of them are less my style, and a couple of them are basic, like, regular movies. But they all have qualities that you can enjoy and you can get behind and you can celebrate. And so let's use today and kind of the entire discussion here to really celebrate these things and just build each other up for a little while. So until next time, this has been Clay Dockery for Venue Diagram, and have a nice life out there.